Today we're going to look at the importance of customer collaboration and specifically how to empower our customers, or rather product owners, so that they truly can always be right. Go back 20 years in your career or 20 years in this world. Before the dot-com bubble burst in the 90s and the 80s, think about the economies and the markets at that point. They were not nearly as globalized as they are today. A company in North Carolina could not reach Southeast Asia as easily as they can today. When the dot-com bubble burst in 2000, a 17-year-old kid sitting in his dad's basement in Seattle could develop a mobile app and sell it to somebody in Suzhou, China. So now everybody got connected to each other, and this world of business and technology started to spin faster and faster. And now just having a good idea was not enough, because you had to be able to operationalize that idea to quickly turn it around and generate some return on investment. And that's why Agile came into the picture. So Agile is not something unique that somebody found as an esoteric idea. It's just logic. It's adaptability. You create and package things in small sizes. You put it out there for somebody to look at it, and you see how they react to it. And then if they like it, you build on it. If they don't like it, you trash it and you go with something else. A shared vision is essentially your North Star, that one single thing that you're shooting towards to implement this project. Now, a shared vision should essentially focus on three things. What should the project accomplish? How does it provide value? And what is going to be defined as success for this project? You talk about these three things, and if you can figure out what these things are, you have a shared vision. And that will pave the way for clear prioritization. For a target group of customers who have a certain statement of need, this is a product name that we're developing, which is this kind of a product or the category. And this is the compelling reason why people would want to buy and use our product. And also, this is unlike everything else that's out there, which means you have to know what else is out there. And that will be your product differentiator. So this is a pretty standard industry recognized format for creating shared visions. And this is meant to ignite some of those conversations with your stakeholders about why are we trying to develop this product? How is it going to add value to our company? How is it different from everything else out there? What is our key selling point? What's our USP? What's our product differentiator? One of the ways that can help you create such a shared vision statement is using success sliders. This is a technique that will let you engage with your stakeholders in a collaborative fashion and allow your stakeholders to convey their expectations on a specific project. All this is a bunch of fundamental project characteristics with scales on them. And the idea of this collaborative exercise is to get an appropriate mix of all of these fundamental characteristics so that you can define success for your project. These characteristics are standard issue that I've shown here. You can change these to match your reality. But more often than not, they come across things like quality or time, or how much money do I want to invest in this? How important is business value? Things like that. And the idea behind this exercise is to keep the scale balanced, which means you have to stop your stakeholders from moving everything to on or everything to high. Every movement of a scale towards on or towards the extreme point has to be offset by another characteristic in the opposite direction. Which means all of them can't be on and all of them should not be off. Hopefully all of them won't be off. But if all of them are on, that means for any project managers in the room, that's the iron triangle. Scope, quality, and time, they're all fixed. And now you're just locked in a jail that you can't get out of. So the idea behind this exercise is to get that appropriate mix of characteristics that will define success for your project. Another technique, and a more simpler technique, is to draw a T-chart. or concentric circles and make a high-level list of whatever everybody, the team, the stakeholders, extended and core team thinks is in scope and out of scope. Pretty straightforward, not much to think about there. Here's where the conversation gets interesting. If you're using the concentric circles, everything that's in scope will just go as a sticky inside the circle. Everything that's out of scope just goes outside it. Now, there will be some things that are kind of on the fence. And you hear stakeholders and management saying, yeah, it's important, but when push comes to shove, I'll probably deprioritize it. So that'll be somewhere at the boundary of the inner circle. And as you start to have these conversations, you will start to see trends where stakeholders will try to push everything inside the circle and the team will try to push everything outside the circle. And that's the kind of tug of war you want as quickly to the start of the project as possible. Because if you have those discussions later on, that's what leads to production defects, that's what leads to extra sprints, extra iterations, that's what leads to extra defects and things like that. So essentially, both those techniques focused on business value. And more than business value, they focused on creating a traceability between the business benefits or that value and the expected product outputs. So whenever you create a shared vision during your project discovery phases, make sure that there's a clear understanding, a shared understanding among the team about the business value or the benefits of this project and the expected product outputs. And that product output should have specific outcomes. What are some of the things to expect once this product is out the door? And what are those tangible outcomes? And how is that going to lead to a return on investment? These are some of the things that you want to focus on when creating shared vision.